A well-known principle of logic is that contradictions cannot simultaneously exist. A statement and its opposite cannot be true at the same time. A condition cannot exist at the same time as the opposite condition. Yet often in life it seems that they do. Look at the ancient Chinese symbol, the yin yang. The yin has a small spot on the yang, and the yang has a small spot on the yin. They exist in and around each other, like we do, like God in, as, and through us. But if it's all God, if all is one, how can these contradictions exist? If A is A thing is what it is, a fundamental principle of philosophy, then how do contradictory conditions exist? Harlan Coben said that you can't have an up without a down, a right without a left, a back without a front, or a happy without a sad. There's a similar idea in the 1980 movie Oh God Book 2, where George Burns as God has this exchange with the character Tracy Richards. You ever see a front without a back? No. A top without a bottom? No. An up without a down? No. Okay, then there can't be good without bad, life without death, pleasure without pain. That's the way it is. If I take sad away, happy has to go with it. In Burnt Norton, T.S. Eliot writes, at the still point of the turning world, neither flesh nor fleshless, neither from nor toward. At the still point, there the dance is. But neither arrest nor movement, and do not call it fixity, or past and future are gathered, neither movement from nor towards, neither ascent nor decline, except for the point, the still point, there would be no dance. There is only the dance. Polarities, contradictions. But it's not either or, it's both and. Coben reminds us that one cannot fully understand or appreciate, one cannot be fully understood or appreciated without the presence of its counterpart. This concept serves as a reminder that every success is rooted in failure, every joy and sorrow, every happy moment and a sad one. This teaches us not only to embrace the ups and downs of life, but also to find beauty and meaning in the delicate balance between them. At the website I Forgot My Mantra, the author, whose name I cannot find, sorry, writes, I've been wondering about what all these polarities in life mean. The push and the pull, the yin and the yang, fire and water, softness and rigidness, playfulness and work, the gardener and the city dweller. Life expresses itself in polarities, but they're not necessarily hostile or superior to one another. And while perhaps opposite, cannot be thought of as separate from the other. There's a duality between life's contradictions. Without day, there's no night. Freezing water can always be made to boil. You can't experience happiness without having felt sadness. Together, polarities make up the sum total of who we are. Ralph Waldo Emerson reminded us that a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds, adored by little statesmen and philosophers and divines. With consistency, a great soul had simply nothing to do. In physics, there's something called a tangled hierarchy. It's a condition where A depends on B, but B depends on A. Dr. Amit Goswami says the ultimate tangled hierarchy is that the universe couldn't exist as it is if we weren't here to observe it. But we couldn't be here to observe it if the universe exists the way it does. Sounds contradictory, doesn't it? Perhaps all contradictions are simply tangled hierarchies. So how do we deal with this tangle? How do we juggle contradictory conditions and events in our lives? How do we balance these competing factors? Thomas Troward said in the Edinburgh Lectures, the individual subjective mind may therefore be regarded as the organ of the same way that the objective mind is the organ of the relative. And it is in order to regulate our use of these two organs that it's necessary to understand what the terms absolute and relative actually mean. The absolute is the idea of a thing which contemplates it as if existing in itself and not in relation to something else. That is to say, which contemplates the essence of it. And the relative is that idea of a thing which contemplates it as related to other things. That is to say, circumscribed by a certain environment. So let's let ourselves be both and. Let's hold these contradictions together. If you don't know what you're looking for, seek balance. Your life will be much more peaceful.